Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you. Learn of me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart. You will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burdens are light. And if I had a topic for today's sermon, it would be hard labor. Hard labor. We know tomorrow is Labor Day, and a lot of people celebrate the day of taking off from their labor. But a lot of people don't understand that Christ gives us an easier lifestyle than what the world does. Because sometimes you're on your job, you got this mean boss, and they mean for no reason. Or they angry and they make your life hard. They got it hard, they make your life hard. Or you work long hours and overtime, and it seems like you got all these hours you work and you still can't get ahead financially. The fact that we got to get up in the morning and drive and sit in traffic, some of us for an hour and a half an hour. You're already agitated sitting in traffic. Get to work, they got somebody waiting for you to attack you. Then you got to deal with the supervisor, the demands, and then you got folk on your job that don't like you, basically your enemy. And if you look too cute, then another woman look cute, then she's going to hate you because you wore a nice dress today. Or you got a reward for, somebody gave you a pat on the back, or somebody that they like you better. And all this envy, strife, hate because of you being you. That's a burden. And God, and Christ said, if you come to me, I'll make your life easier. I'll make your burden light. It's lighter to be with Christ than it is to be in the world, because you know what? The Lord will give you strategies of how to take off the weight off your life. And weight doesn't mean just physically, mentally. You know why people are so stressed out right now? Look how so many people now. The suicide rate in this country has skyrocketed. Mass shooting is going on. Someone shot up 5 people in Texas last night. What is going on? Because sometimes we have wars within ourselves and we don't know how to rest. We're so busy doing nothing. God told me to walk into his, Jesus talked about walking to his rest, because God worked 6 days and the 7th day he rests. So why are we not resting? We labor. And when a woman has a baby, they call it labor, because it's hard. And we know what, if we go back to the garden, we weren't meant to work. Really, literally. Because Eden was a kind of heaven. Adam had to walk around butt naked eating grapes. God gave him a woman. She looked fantastic. He looked fantastic. They never got old. They never gained weight. They never got heart disease, diabetes, sugar, hypertension. None of that happened. Look at the life we would have lived if Adam didn't mess up. We wouldn't get this gray stuff on our face and these little lines that pop up in our eye, and our back wouldn't hurt and our knee wouldn't give out. But we're laboring. Sometimes it takes some people just enough to get out of the bed. It's labor. You got to raise your children. You got to go to work. You got to make sure they fed. Then you got somebody, if you're married, you got to make that other person happy. And let me say this, y'all. I'm going to give y'all a secret. It's easier to please God than man. Because you can do all you can for folk and they still might not like you. You can do everything to appease people and they'll find something wrong. Go on social media. Oh, they fed the kids some hot dogs. Well, hot dogs are not healthy. But they were hungry. Somebody will have an opinion about you giving them hot dogs. That's more salty. He should have found something else again. Somebody will find something wrong with what you do. That's why I learned, don't try to please everybody, just please one person. When you walk this life, you got an audience of one, and that's God. Don't worry about what people think about you. Only worry about what God think about you. But when you come to Christ, his burdens are easier. You'll mentally have some support spiritually. Because sometimes I need help. Because I know something wrong with me. Oh, you're the pastor. I'm nuts. I got quirks. I got my little crazies. I got a little OCD. I dare you, it would drive me crazy. And I see something right now and I don't even want to look at it. If my picture, I remember one day, my picture was crooked. I got in the car, I was driving off. I drove around the block and came back in the house to straighten out that picture because it bothered me. I said, what is wrong with me? I talk to myself sometimes. My daughter got that little crazy in her too. She talked to herself sometimes. I said, you talking to somebody on the phone? No. But you was having a conversation. But that's me. And some things rub off on you and you come to your children. I believe in generational curses and blessings. But that's my DNA. But that's my crazy. But it's okay to be that, because you know what? Sometimes your little crazy can calm you. Now, when I say crazy, I don't mean crazy, deranged, and you're about to kill everybody. I mean your quirks. Something you don't want to see. If a camera was on you all day, what would they see? If you thought it was you, if there was a hidden camera on you, and you was in your house by yourself, what crazy stuff we'll see you do? Just imagine the little quirky, nasty little stuff that we do, or this simple stuff that people will think we are mad. And you know when that's the best thing, but you're in your comfort zone, and that's a light burden because you can be you around you. Because sometimes you can't be you around everybody. Sometimes I can't be Terry Allen, I got to be Pastor Allen, because people only going to want you as who you are or how they met you. That's why when I meet people, I'll come off with this big, oh, I'm Pastor Allen and you sinner. I know something wrong with me. I know by grace God saved me. I've been in churches where everybody was pious. You know, some churches you go from Pentecostal, Apostolical, Catholic churches, all that stuff. I don't. You got to be wearing a suit or a robe and a hat and a garb and all this stuff to see God. God ain't like that. Man does that. And I tell people, the reason why the yoke gets strong, because the yoke is it could be religion. And what do you mean by yoke, Pastor? I mean, let me use this example. Have you ever seen a farm and a farmer? And I ain't talking about this new farm. I mean back in the old west or back in the past where they had a yoke or ox push. He had a rope around the ox mouth. And the yoke is that rope. And he hit it and he'll turn the mouth of the beast so he can go where he want to go. Let me say something to you. God said, my rope is easy. Now, I don't care whether you love Jesus or not, you're going to have a yoke. Something's going to control you. Something's going to make you, let me say this. How many of us really like to go to work? I don't. If you got a job you do like love. But how many times very rarely you got people who like to go to work? And would you like a job where you could set your own hours?
Yeah.
Set your own pay?
Yeah.
Have more vacation time?
Amen.
Medical benefits? Free medical benefits? But you don't get that. You get what they give you. And be happy about it, or you don't have a job. That's a yoke, because you're being turned to where you have to go. Christ said, everything going to have a yoke. I'm going to have one. The world definitely has a harder one. But because you're going to have a yoke, but mine is easier. You're going to deal with mine. You're going to even feel, it's going to even feel like you don't have a yoke on you. But you got one. Because if I didn't have a yoke on you, you'll go off. Sometimes you want some security measures and some boundaries for your own personal mind. You got to. That's what, if you don't, you're called insanity. And we know why he wants to be insane. Everybody wants to be in control of their faculties. And God will put a yoke on you, and you need to put a yoke on yourself, meaning called discipline. I mean, you get up in the morning, you go to bed at a certain time, you got to be disciplined to eat right. If you're training, you got to go to exercise. I hate going to the gym, but I have to now. At first, I went to the gym when I was in my 20s. I went to the gym to look cute for the girls. Now, I go to the gym because of yoke on me. I want to get up in the morning so my back won't hurt. Things change. But I got to be turned. I got to be disciplined. I got to do certain things in my life to make it work. But God's is lighter. And working for the Lord is lighter for me. I love doing my job, even though the pay ain't all that great. But I love my job. I get to set my own hours, but I work harder. But I enjoy it. Because when you do something you love to do, it don't seem like work. And when you got passion for it, your passion covers your pain of what you do. That's why I tell people, do something that's your purpose. Do something that you love to do. Because you know what? If passion will always cover over the pain. And when you work and you don't like it, it's labor. And he said, my yoke is easy, my burdens, let's go another word. Same one. How much weight is on your life? How much pressure you got? You know why some people collapse? Because they got, just like some of us work out, and you need that spotter. That guy who helped you out. Because when you first started working out, 20 pounds seemed heavy. And you struggling. It takes time to build up your spiritual muscles. But you should never put too much weight that you can handle. You ever seen those guys? I remember when we used to go to Gold's Gym and we had the wrestlers. That's when they used to roid up, shoot up roids, and they be sitting up there doing 300 pounds, And you need a spotter because their weight is too much for you. Sometimes in life, if you're lifting something that's too heavy and you can't lift it yourself, you shouldn't have a spotter. But God said, if you do have weight, I'll be your spotter. I'll be the one to help you lift up the loads in your life. I'll make it easy for you because the world won't spot you. BG&E won't spot you. Some friends you have won't even spot you $20. Some family members won't spot you. But God said, I will spot you if your life get too hard. I will help you if your life get so heavy that you can't deal. And this is what God is all about. We have to make God relevant to the next generation. Because the problem is, folk don't want God because they don't think they need God. And you can go to church all day long. I was raised up in church. I went to Pentecostal church. I went to Apostolic church. I went to Catholic church. My daughter's in a Catholic school. I went to all this religiosity. And you know what it means? It's like Charlie Brown. You remember Charlie Brown and the teacher was like, womp, 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 womp. That's what it was to me. Until I found out God ain't like that. He really come to help me. Because I got stuff with me that I got to deal with now. I ain't a preacher because I'm religious. I'm a preacher because I got a relationship with God. And when my money left, my marriage left, and everything left me, you know who was still stuck by me? It was the Lord. And and let me say this. When you ain't yoked up with folk, you know how hard it is to please people? People say, well, Pastor, won't you just go out there and get you a date and go? I'm like, I'm tired. I ain't lying. Maybe I'm lazy. Because you don't want to run after folk. It's hard running. People say, well, Pastor, won't you do this? Won't you do that? I'm tired. I don't want to run. I want my yoke easy. Because running after people, running after money, running after things, it carries a weight on you. You chase after it and you really don't catch it. And if you catch it, you find out it ain't all that. Have you ever, I remember when I used to dream of stuff. I got very disappointed in life. You know, when you make it, I thought being a pastor, and I say all the pastors, they can wear the nice suits and all that stuff going around. I thought it was going to be easy. It's hard work. And then you got to deal with crazy people. Tell you some crazy stuff. And one of the deacon that he hears some things because he's close to me. He said, Pastor, did you hear what that person said? I said, yeah. He said, you ain't. I said, I'm used to it now. At first, when I started doing this, my jaw dropped. People had secrets like it was Jerry Springer. One told me, Pastor, yeah, I slept with my wife's sister. I'm like, I almost fell off the chair. But I couldn't tell nobody. And he's saying, what do you think, Charlie, my wife from her sister? I just look at him and I said, do you want to die? Do you want to die? I'm like, no, bruh. I said, I don't know. You got to confess that, and your relationship over. So when you hear stuff like that, you see how people put yoke on their own stuff. Sometimes you can put some mess. God don't put stuff on you. We put it on ourselves. We bite off more than we can chew in life. Let me say that. Don't ever take on something you know you can't handle. Don't take on people. Don't take on problems. Don't even take a job even if there's more money. Don't take it on if you can't handle it. If you know you don't like to drive a mile away from home, why are you going to take a position that's a whole hour away from your home?